Well, I ain't got the butter out. I mean, it don't matter what kind of margarine you use, I don't reckon. I always use Blue Bonnet, but I mean, I don't reckon it matters. It's just the kind I usually get.
Kraft Jet Puffed. So do you mix it all in the pan over there?
Well, as in terms, you don't put it all in there at one time.
Okay.
I'll show you as we roll along here.
Okay. And we got the Nestle Carnation. Now, does the specific brand of the evaporated milk matter, or is that?
I don't know. I always use Carnation. That's the best cream they got out, so that's what I used. I don't know that you have to. And I use the Blue Bonnet margarine, but I mean, I don't reckon the margarine matters.
Okay. All right. And so now I guess we'll talk about the recipe itself. Where is the recipe?
Right here on the book. It's called Fantastic Fudge.
Fantastic Fudge. Let me get a little shot of it on the camera. I see, now I'm looking at it, I see two different Fantasy
I use that in on
Fudge.
top. It's got 3 cups sugar.
Okay. Fantasy Fudge. And, alright, so what's the next step?
So next step's just putting it all together.
Putting it all together. Do we put it in this pan, or?
I'm going to put it in that pan after I cook it.
Okay.
After I get all the ingredients in it, but I butter my pan.
This pan right here?
Yeah, I mean, you can put it in a platter or whatever you want to put it in, a plate or whatever. But I just take it and rub that down with some butter. I just open my stick up and use the end of it.
Okie dokie. Oh. That's buttering too hard, Mama. A bit too tough on the buttering.
I do that sometimes. But I found out that's the size I need, and it makes it the thickness I need for what I need it for.
Okay. Now do I butter up on the sides too?
Just a little, just enough to keep it from it.
Okay. Got to wash the butter off.
When you get the butter off, I'll show you about reading the thing for the size of the butter.
So the pan I just buttered is the one that we put it in after it's done cooking. So this
After
is
it's done cooking, yeah. And the recipe calls for a 3/4 cup, and a stick of butter is a 1/2 cup.
So it'd be about a
So
third
it takes
of
a
the
one and a half. Takes a stick and a half.
Stick and a half.
To make
Okay.
3/4 cup.
Okay.
So I'll put it in my pan first. Now you can use a thick saucepan, but I don't have a real thick, good saucepan. So I use my heavy skillet because it's good and thick.
Okay.
But you don't have to use a skillet, you can use a saucepan. Put your butter in first.
Now what temperature do you
You
cook?
put it on medium. I usually set mine on 5.
On
But
5.
it's according to your stove, where the medium's at on your stove.
Okay.
And I put my butter in first. Then I put my 3 cups of sugar in.
3 cups of sugar.
3 cups of sugar. I've got mine in a sugar can, but it's Domino sugar.
Domino sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mom's tried to make it, and she didn't use Domino. She just used some other kind of sugar,
Well,
and
I
it
have
seemed
made
like it.
I've made it with the other, but it makes it kind of a sugary taste. It don't have a smooth taste.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It seems like Mom's fudge didn't turn out as good using the other type of sugar.
And then you put your cream in next.
This
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let me get my little measuring cup here. It says 2/3 cup, so I got a 1/3 cup, so I'll put 2 of these in.
Okay.
I usually just use a big cup, measure it, but since you're filming it all. See, I just do 2 of those.
All right.
When the butter melts and all this gets stirred together here,
Okay.
I'll show you how to tell when it's boiling up
Okay.
where you need it. Now to cook it 5 minutes. Products over here where I can get to them.
Yeah. I'll help you, Mama.
I usually do this start with, but since you're watching it,
Okay, so we
it
got
says a half a cup of peanut butter, so I'll take me out half a cup. And then you use this whole jar
the whole jar.
of
Okay.
marshmallow cream.
All right.
And I got 2 spoons because sometimes you have to rake it out of your spoon.
Okay.
While that's getting hot, I'll give you out some peanut butter.
Now, when you're doing your half cup, do you have to like pat it down? And
Yeah, I
really...
do, because it gets air bubbles in it. Sometimes it'll look like it's really heaped up, but that's because
But
it's
it's
got
not
air
very
bubbles.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how it's got air bubbles in it?
Yeah.
So sometimes I put just a little extra to cover up them air bubbles. It takes it a little while to get hot for the butter to melt.
Okay.
Then I'll show you about how you can tell when it's cooking so on it as soon as it gets hot.
Okay. And I guess while that's getting hot, I'll just read the directions out. So it says it's written by Lexie Elam, and
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a church cookbook where everybody brought recipes.
Yeah.
They put it in a book and
from What's Cooking at Bethel, Bethel Church.
yeah.
Where is Bethel at?
It's over on, like you go down past the nursing home or you can go out 92 and turn down either way.
Okay.
It comes out on 92 if you go straight through.
Okay, so it says 3 cups sugar, 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup margarine, 2/3 cup carnation milk, half cup peanut butter, 7-ounce jar of marshmallow cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Combine sugar, butter, milk in a heavy 2.5 quart saucepan. Bring to a full rolling boil. Stir constantly. That's a lot of stirring. Boil in for 5 minutes over medium heat. Stir constantly to prevent sticking. Wow, that's a lot of stirring. Remove from heat. Add peanut butter until well mixed. Then add marshmallow cream, vanilla, blend well. Nuts may be added if desired. Pour into a greased 13x9 pan. Let cool at room temperature. Cut into squares. Mix 3 pounds. Wow, that's a lot of stirring.
If it's a warm day, you can set it in the refrigerator if you want to, but I found it sticks to your pan kindly. So if it's like a day like today, I just set it out on the back porch a few minutes and
Let it cool down.
cools real fast like
Okay.
that. And it don't stick to your pan so bad.
Why do you think it is that it sticks to the pan if it's, you know, in the fridge or whatever?
I think it cools too fast.
Cools too fast?
But
Okay.
that's just my opinion, but a lot of people sets it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
But if it's a warm day, it takes it a while to cool. You don't have to set it nowhere, it just takes it a while to cool, you know.
Okay. Now, is there any, like, at this point, is there anything where people, like, might make a mistake? Like a really, like, common mistake that could mess up the fudge, like at this part right here?
No. When it's a boiling now, you can. When it's it's bubbly boil. See, it's not got good and hot yet. I
Okay.
should have had my burner on. It already got hot before I started putting it in the skillet, but I didn't.
Okay.
But I'll show you as it starts boiling
Okay.
how to tell. Because if you cook it too much, it's hot it's hard. If
Okay.
you don't cook it enough, then it's too soft.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but you have to keep your eye on your time when it does get to a certain boil, I'll show you as it starts boiling how to watch that boil.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera. Alright, so I saw it starting to boil a little bit.
It's starting to get hot now. It won't be long to be bubbling boil. And I'll show you about the bubbling boil when it gets started on it.
Okay. Because that's one of the things, like with any kind of cooking, that I've always had trouble figuring out is like, how much boiling is the right amount of boiling? And I know that sounds like a really ridiculous thing, but like, you know, if you're cooking like a can of chicken noodle soup, you don't need it to boil very much, just a few little bubbles for it to be hot, you know? So I never quite figure out how much boiling is the right amount.
I have had to set it off and then set it back on. Sometimes made a boo-boo out of it because, you know, the dog would have to go out or Dad would have to have something or something other, you know, and I'd have to quit, set it off and then go back to it.
Yeah.
You know, it not turn out like it should.
So I've got us zoomed in on it. Let's, I'm gonna see if I can raise the angle up a little bit more. Oh, no, I don't think that'll work too well, trying to raise the angle, but you know, I've got, I don't know if you can see it, but that's a pretty nice looking picture of it boiling.
Yeah. See, it's starting to bubble, but it's not bubble like it, you know, you watch the bubbles, yeah.
Okay, so it's not the right amount of boiling yet.
No.
Okay.
Not ready for you to start timing.
Okay.
When they get bubbly, and they look like they're going to jump out of the skillet, that's when you start timing your 5 minutes.
See, now that might be part of the problem, because like when, you know, I don't know how Mom's tried to make it, but like if she tried to make it, she might start the timer right there with it boiling right there and it not be...
No, but you want to wait till they get great big bubbles and they look like they're just going to jump right out. See how bigger they get?
Yeah, they're getting real big now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little lake of butter lava.
yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. But see, some of it's not bubbling yet, so yeah, give it just a second and it'll...
And just gotta keep stirring it the whole time.
Yeah, keep it just a little. You don't have to stand and stir. Just stir it and keep it up from scorching on the bottom.
Okay. How do you know if you've accidentally scorched it? Will it start?
Little brown specks will come up.
Okay. And I imagine it probably, if you started scorching it, probably has like a bad smell too.
Well, not necessarily. It's just that sugar in it. And, I have made it where it scorched a little bit and have little brown spots in it, but you know, it didn't make it taste enough because I got it off in time.
Okay.
But see how bigger and bigger them bubbles are getting?
Yeah, they're getting pretty big.
So when they get great big, look like they're going to pop out of the pan, you start with your timer.
Okay. And how long's the time for? Is it 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. And during that time, are we also mixing in the ingredients?
No, not till our 5 minutes is up.
Okay.
And then we set it off and set it, you know, over to the side and put our marshmallow cream, peanut butter, and all that stuff in it.
Okay.
See, right about now, you can start your timer.
Okay. So.
15 after, so it'd be 20 after when we move him over.
Okay.
Give me a pot holder.
Yeah.
I don't like these new pot holders they're putting out. They're too thin.
Yeah, so one thing that I guess, you know, while we're timing that, I'll just talk about, zoom out a little bit, is like, you know, you got all your ingredients ready, and I think that's probably a really important thing, isn't it? Having all your ingredients ready.
Yeah, because you need to get it in as quick as you can while it's warm, so that it'll melt.
Yeah, because, you know, I could imagine if I was trying to make this for the first time, I might not think to have all my ingredients ready, and then, you know, next thing you know, I've, you know, missed the chance to get it mixed up right because I'm trying to scoop out peanut butter or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta have your stuff all ready.
I think the fancy chefs, they call it mise en place, having everything ready.
Yeah, I don't know what the chefs calls all this stuff.
Yeah. They use all the French words.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Some of the stuff they cook, I wouldn't eat it if they give it to me. Phew, it don't even look good.
Yeah, some of it, it's
Yeah.
weird looking, looks like something
Yeah.
they dig out of a trash compactor.
Yeah. They stick a little, some kind of spice on it and make it look green and pretty when it, oh God, I bet it don't even taste good.
Yeah. That's something I've always wondered, because sometimes I watch these cooking competitions like Chopped, and, they'll cook up some kind of crazy looking dish, and I wonder how it tastes, because the judges, they'll eat it, and, even though it looks pretty, the judges are unhappy with it.
Oh yeah. Another one day, that girl on that one show was cooking, and I don't remember what she made, but she kind of burned it.
Oh.
And the judge gave that to her. Give it to her. I could just imagine how them others that had cooked was thinking about that.
Yeah.
See, as it gets thicker, it comes off your spoon slower.
Okay.
That's the way when we made it with just pure sugar. That's the way we tested it. We drop a little ball in a cup of water. If it made a ball, then it's ready to come off.
Okay. Now, do you think it's better to do it in a cast iron type pan, or
Now,
like
if you got a good
non-stick?
cooker, see, all my old cookers are wore out. They're not real thick and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
These, just as long as it's a thick saucepan.
Okay.
Now you can make it in a saucepan. It's just as good. But this is thicker than every saucepan I have, so that's the reason I make it in this.
It's probably good because it's quite a bit of butter and sugar and all that. You'd need like a full kettle if you was cooking it in.
Well, I got that one cooker that I make gravy in all the time because I try to make so much gravy I flop it out of my skillets all the time.
Yeah.
I don't use this skillet, but it's fairly thick. I guess I could make it in head, but I just so used to using this skillet, that's what I use.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's good to just work
See
with.
how much it's slower it's coming off of the
Yeah.
spoon.
I guess it's good to work with the things that you know real well.
Well, I'm a hillbilly. I'm not one of these modern cooks. See, when it gets down to this point, it'll stick real easy if you don't watch it and stir it up from the bottom.
So you gotta keep on stirring it at this point.
Yeah, you don't have to stir it real fast or nothing. Just keep it stirred up from the bottom because it'll stick real easy.
Yeah.
It's time to turn you off, fella. Get her stuff all in you.
All right. Do we need to move the skillet to a different spot, or?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know how you usually do it. It's just.
Well, sometimes I just put it in here because the burner don't take that burner long to cool off. But I'll move it over there.
You want me to stir it while you're scooping it
You
out?
can. If you want to. Marshmallow cream in there now. Of course, I have this stuff all over me.
Yeah.
It's so sticky.
It's crazy how, right now it's a liquid, but whenever it's set to cool down, it'll turn into like a solid block, you know?
Uh-huh. That butter and the marshmallow cream and stuff sets up in it.
Tell you what, I never realized how much muscle work it took to stir this.
I don't mind that. It's when I go to pour it in my pan, lifting up the pan to pour it out in the other pan. Is what gets me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make a mess of getting it in the other pan.
Now, does it matter what order you add the ingredients in?
No, as long as you get all three of them last ingredients in there.
Okay.
Marshmallow cream and peanut butter has to come in, don't have to come in for the vanilla. I always just put a dash of vanilla that says a tablespoon. Stir it and get it sticky off my finger. So don't stick to it.
Now, is there a special technique for stirring, or is it just...
No, just take your spoon down and stir up from the bottom. And that way, that helps cool it off and mix it too while you're stirring. You want me to stir a while?
I can do the stirring. Is this stirring up from the bottom, like how I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of whips it and cools it and mixes it all at the same time.
Okay, and I noticed when you was cooking it, you'd go around the sides.
Yeah, kind of keep
With
it
the
out on
spoon.
the corner of the pan, you know, that where it comes down on the corner there.
Yeah. Now, how do you know when it's done being stirred and it's ready to be poured?
Well, when it gets dissolved up good and kind of cools down a little bit, you know.
And whenever you go to pour it, I can pour it for you.
Okay, so now I don't know where you can get to it. You want it here or over here?
Guess we'll just put it right there.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll let you come over and take a look at it and tell me what you think. If you think it's ready for...
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's ready to put over in the pan.
Alright. So is there a special technique for putting it in the pan, or
Now
is
just
it...
pour it out. Just pour it out. Seal it.
Alright, well...
Help you rake?
Yeah, here, I'll hold it and you can rake it a bit. I'm having trouble getting that last little bit out.
Yeah, I always have to suck the rest of it out with a spoon. I usually eat the rest of it. What's left in the skillet, I rake it out and eat it. That's about the size of it.
Okay.
Watch where you set it, because it's on the side. Just set it there in the middle of the stove, don't set it on a burner. Now I'll cover this up. I'll take him outside.
Let me see if I can get these last little spoons out.
Okay, and I'm going to open the door back there. Pull that off the burner. So
Oh,
it's
yep.
got that on the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to take it out in the freezer and set it down and cover it up for a few minutes so it can cool real fast. and made it.
So this is the done fudge.
But my hand's got a shimmy in it till I can't go straight hardly ever. Mom was making fun of me when she showed me on the computer. I'd start out on that little line pulling that arrow down, and then he'd just jump everywhere. My wrist would just jump everywhere.
Well, you know, you just gotta do the best you can.
It could be a little bit cooler.
Can you like lift up a little square of it? That way we can show what it looks like. Wow, that turned out really good. Real smooth consistency.